The smell, the discharge, I got it reoccurring almost every time I got my cycles. I went into the doctor. They asked me, who have you been sleeping with? I had never heard of this before, and I'm going through all these crazy emotions. I kept going back and they kept giving me antibiotics. I heard about Happy Bee on social media, a lot of good ingredients that can help not only balance but prevent the symptoms. After about 2 months of consistent use is when I really started to see a difference. I felt better.
So I'd love to hear your story and what health issues you were facing and what really brought you to seek solutions.
Yeah, so the first time that I even heard about BV was after countless weeks of experiencing some really horrible symptoms, as we know, right? The smell, the discharge. I was so confused. I thought I had a yeast infection that had just gotten really bad. I had never experienced something like this. I'm not someone who is prone to yeast infections or UTI, so this was really out of the ordinary for me, and I couldn't quite figure it out. And I went into the doctor. They told me it was BV, and they prescribed me an antibiotic, and they're like, you'll be fine, just go on your merry way. And I was like, all right, cool, no big deal. They asked me the normal questions of who have you been sleeping with? Is it the same partner? Was there a chance that my doctor even told me, is there a chance that they cheated? And I was like, what? Like, I had never heard of this before, and I'm going through all these crazy emotions with it. And I got an antibiotic, it went away, but within the course of probably 6 months, I got it reoccurring pretty much almost every time I got my cycle. So like I would get my cycle, and then a week or two later, I would develop some type of BV symptom. Never as intense as the first time. The first time was so bad. Like I had every symptom that comes with BV, but every time after that, I would get something, whether it was like the smell or the discharge or just that uncomfortable, itchy feeling. And I kept going back, and they kept giving me antibiotics. And it's like, I can't keep taking antibiotics because it's also wreaking havoc on just my gut health on top of that. So I was going a little crazy. I tried everything, I think, under the sun after the antibiotic.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I want to go back to what you said about what your doctor asked you.
I know.
I've never heard that before.
Yep, they did. He's
walk me through
straight up asked
how that was.
Again, I had never heard of BV until actually going into my gyno at the time. And they explained to me a little bit about what that is and what causes, right? That unbalance of pH within a woman. And he asked me, he was like, I know you've been dating someone. Are you still dating the same person? And I was like, yeah. And he's, how long have you been dating? So I'm like, oh, a set amount of time. It's been quite a bit. And he's like, oh, is there any chance you haven't slept with somebody else or he hasn't slept with somebody else? And I was like, no, there's no cheating here. Why would you say that? And he said, usually it's caused by a disturbance in pH, which can be caused by somebody sleeping with somebody else and then sleeping with their partner, and then they're not used to that. So I think I must have been at this time maybe like 24, 25 years old. So when I tell you I spiraled after that visit, I was like, wait a minute, what are you telling me? Because I knew I hadn't cheated. So I was like, wait a second, are you telling me that my boyfriend just cheated on me and this is why I have this? And I'll never forget that I asked him straight up. I was like, I got this. We know we can have sex for a while because I'm antibiotics and we need to clear it out. And I can't give you the pH symptoms. They told me it's by cheating. Did you cheat on me? He's like, no, you're crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. The doctor said that's how it's caused. I don't know what else to tell you. And he's like, no. So then I'm not going to lie to you. Even after that moment, every time I caught it after that, because I caught it for the 6 months pretty on and off. And then I would get it sporadically over the course maybe of the next 5 years, like randomly. And every time I would get it, I would be like, oh, maybe my boyfriend cheated on me this time, because it was just in my brain if that's what the cause was after going to the doctor, which is nuts.
Yeah, that's so sad.
It's crazy.
25 to be like, I don't know how I got this. I've never had it before. And yeah, to have your doctor like ask that question would make you paranoid for sure.
Spiral, like full blown spiral.
Yeah. And I don't know what to ask after that. I've done several of these interviews and I've never heard anyone say.
The first time for everything.
If my boyfriend was cheating, it sounds like a counseling session.
I know. I was like,
oh, can I bring him in? Do you want to talk to him?
I was like, no, I don't think he has been. This is so weird. Like, why are you even asking me this right now?
Yeah, you're like, this isn't like a medical question.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude, I don't think so. At least I don't know. I'll go home and find out, but I don't think so.
Yeah. And going back, you didn't know, I had any idea what sparked.
No idea. No idea. Honestly, thought that it was like, I thought it was just a really bad yeast infection caused by either like the tampon usage. Maybe I thought maybe I had left on a tampon too long. I thought it was something to do by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what BV really was. My thing, what triggered that it was probably time for me to go to the doctor. I had never experienced like color discharge in my life. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, something's up, something's wrong. And they were the ones to explain to me what BV was and all of that. Cause it's really not something that's talked about freely, I think. So you usually hear of just like UTIs and yeast infections. You don't really hear about BV too much. So your brain automatically goes to one of those two. And that's just what I assumed I had.
Yeah. So after you did the rounds of antibiotics, and I also commend you for knowing, and maybe you did research of knowing that it's going to wreak havoc on your gut or just have other issues the more and more that you use it. What kind of solutions or what did you try to do in the meantime, looking for something else besides antibiotics?
I really try to change just foods in my diet. I was trying to eat as clean as possible, thinking that could help as well. But one of the bigger things that I had read about was boric acid. So I started doing boric acid suppositories pretty much as often as I could to see if that would help. It did help, but it's just also not something that was easy or comfortable to do on a day-to-day basis, especially of like when I would get my period, right? I wear a tampon. So then I was like, how am I supposed to put the suppository in when I have the tampon? Is this going to do something else? Am I going to get an infection because of the tampon and the suppository together in there? So I used that for a very long time. I'd say probably almost over a year I was doing that, but on and off. It wasn't necessarily something I was doing consistently.
Yeah, every day. And yeah, even from that, were you wanting to find something else?
Yeah, I wanted to find something more to be more consistent to take that was easier to take versus something also that maybe I had to stick inside me. I felt like it didn't, those suppositories are not the best feeling in the whole entire world. If anyone's ever had a yeast infection and they've used a suppository, you know what it feels like. It's like weird. And I just didn't like it. And on top of that, like I said, at the time I had a boyfriend. So it was like, I had the suppository and me was like full of cream up there. What am I doing? This is so gross. So I wanted to find something that was more on the oral side, on the holistic side that I can take that can help me pull off those symptoms that I was getting.
Yeah, I love that. It was a perfect time to ask you, how did you hear about Happy V, and just tell your journey of using Happy V.
So I heard about Happy V on social media, as most of us, right, do, scrolling and getting an ad. And it was something that piqued my interest just because it was a vitamin that you can take over the counter. It wasn't something necessarily prescribed, so I knew it wasn't an antibiotic. And it was more on the holistic side of things, right? A lot of good ingredients that can help not only balance, but prevent the symptoms. So I said, why not? Let's give it a try. I'm not gonna lie, skeptical as I am with anything that I usually take at the first few weeks, because you really think, can this help? At that point, I have been taking the suppositories for quite a while, but I still could get symptoms every now and then, depending on how bad my period was, my cycle. So I wasn't too hopeful that it was going to work, but I said, why not? Might as well give it a shot. And I would say probably after about 2 months of consistent use for me personally is when I really started to see a difference, not only in the signs, because I didn't get any signs anymore, but just in the overall health, I think, like my overall vaginal health. It was crazy the differences, because I suffer from some hormonal imbalances too. There's side effects that come with that from your vaginal health. And just overall, I felt better. And then now I won't shut up and I tell everybody to take it because I was like, I love it so much.
Yes. What differences did you see? Like, how has it impacted your journey with BV?
Definitely no more symptoms. So I am happily BV free for many years. I would say at least 4, yeah. Like 4 years, no symptoms ever, which is really great. I even got off birth control, and I thought for sure, like, with getting off birth control, I would maybe get it back just because of that like imbalance again that you experience. But happy to report, no symptoms at all till today, which is really great. And my health is just so much better in terms of like my vaginal health, right? I don't have any odor, which is crazy. It's one of those things that you're just used to getting, especially when your cycle changes, some more than others, but it's really helped, I think, just balance me out. So I don't have any of those like uncomfortable or just embarrassing symptoms that so many of us get that we don't want to talk about. I haven't had any since taking my Happy V, and I take it religiously. I take it every morning, like clockwork. I know, because I always feel also now I'm no longer with the boyfriend that I had at the time. You have other partners, and I was like, oh my God, what if now when I get another partner, I'm gonna get BV again, because your body's not used to the pH. Happy to report, has not happened. So I attest that to being BV free thanks to my Happy V for sure.
Awesome. That's so great. Thanks for sharing that. I'd love to know if you take any other products of Happy Bee and even walk us through what your health routine looks like incorporating Happy Bee.
So I do take the liquid chlorophyll drops, which I am also equally obsessed with. And I take those every morning with my greens powder. So I mix it in my water and I take it as my morning like wellness drink. I love that stuff because it takes away all your odor, I feel like. And it's helped my gut health so much, like my digestive health in general, which is so amazing. And then I do take the UTI cranberry sticks. You have to remind me of the exact name of the product, but I do take those also. I'm not prone to UTIs specifically ever in my life, but I do use them anytime I've had like sexual intercourse, any of that stuff. I like to take it to make sure I can clean out my body and make sure that my pH and just everything is back to normal and balanced to avoid getting BV. As you can tell, once you've had BV for so long, you're going to do anything to avoid getting it back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. And how do you take all your supplements in the morning, or what do you like to
So
do?
I take the chlorophyll and the pre and probiotic in the morning, and then I'll do the UTI mix in the evening right before I go to bed. I have a powder magnesium that I also take and ashwagandha. So I mix it all together. I make myself like a sleepy mocktail to go to bed, and I'll drink that right before bed with some additional vitamins. Like I take black seed oil and sea moss and all of that stuff. I'll take that at night. But the chlorophyll and my Happy Bee are the two things that I take in the morning.
Okay, awesome. Is there any ingredients in any of the products that you take that you just love and really feel like maybe sets it apart from others or others on the market?
Oh, I am not like an ingredient reader. I'm not going to lie to you. I just take what I know works. And when I see it working, I'm like, I don't know what's in here, but I'm going to keep on taking this, especially knowing that it's on the natural side of things. I've tried so hard to get away from non-natural and like holistic ingredients because I just feel like it makes so much a difference in my health in general, whether it's digestive or skin health or vaginal health. And just knowing that the ingredients are clean, I'm happy to take it without knowing the specifics. I'm like, that's clean. I'm sold. I will continue to take this.
No, I love it. I'm with you with that. Like, all right, looks good. Or if you see other people on social media using it and it's helped them,
Yeah.
I'll try it.
I'm like, I'll try it once. Why not?
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about how Happy Bee and taking all these products has really helped you with your self-esteem, self-confidence in your life?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, after struggling with BB for so many years, and for those who have had it, they understand there's always like an uncomfy feeling when you have it. Even if you're not currently going through BV, you're just thinking, am I getting it? Is that feeling that I have down there? Is that BV oncoming? Oh, do I smell? Do I not smell? Is this? And it's just, I feel like you don't feel as confident when you're going through it, even if it's not that you're going to have intercourse with your partner or anything like that. You just feel embarrassed to say that you have it or that you could get it. And just knowing after taking my Happy Bee for so long and having it work so well, I just feel so much better and confident, not only in myself, but from just like being a woman. I just feel so much better knowing that everything is like nice down there. I don't have to worry about anything. I can be like, no, that's not me. I feel good. Like I don't have any weird smell. I don't have any weird discharge. I don't have any weird symptoms. Like, I'm healthy. And I feel like it just does so much for your confidence, because even if you don't, sometimes I would say if you don't think it's affecting you, you realize later subconsciously that you're still thinking about it in the back of your mind of, oh, is that smell? Is that me? When now I'm like, I feel good. Like I know I'm healthy and I know that I'm not experiencing any symptoms. So I feel just so much better, I think, in my own skin.
Yeah, no, I love hearing that. Thanks for sharing that. How do you plan to incorporate Happy Bee in your long-term wellness routine as well?
I will probably be taking my Happy Bee for as long as I possibly can. I do not see myself stopping. I'm not lying when I say that I've told everybody who will listen about it. All my girlfriends are on it now. It's just something that I think none of us really had taken before. You don't hear about like a vaginal prebiotic. It's not common. It's not something that you've used to hearing. So as soon as I started taking it, and it worked, I was like, everybody needs to take this. Even if you don't have BV, you all need to take this. I promise you it's going to change your life. And I plan on taking it for as long as I can until they tell me I have to stop, which I hope is never. But until they tell me that, I will continue to implement it in my daily routine.
I love it. That's so good. Love talking with you. One last question I like to ask everyone as we end. What advice would you give your younger self back when you were 25 and that you had that experience with your doctor and just all the emotion there with that? What tell you yourself or even other women out there that are struggling and just looking for hope?
I would say it's crazy, but just because your doctor says one thing doesn't mean that's the route that you need to take. If you're not comfortable with what they're telling you, right? If it's whether it's an antibiotic or let's say getting on birth control, whatever the case may be to help your symptoms, it's okay to want to find another alternative. It's okay to want to find a natural alternative. And I know that it can be embarrassing to talk about and to walk into the office. And I think I would tell my younger self, I wish I would have gone sooner because it was just embarrassing to have to go and say it in the beginning of what you're experiencing and have them check you and all of that process. But it's totally normal. It's okay. We all get it, whether they want to talk about it or not. Most women are going to experience BV. You're going to experience some type of vaginal health symptom, and it's totally normal to have it. It's part of being a woman, and it's okay. So it's fine to find an alternative that works for you and that there is hope on the other side. It feels so grim when you're going through it that you don't think you're going to get past it and you think you're never going to have a normal vagina is what I was thinking at 25. I was like, oh, great, my vagina's broken. But it's really, there's hope on the other side once you find something that's going to work for you and that there's products out there like My Happy V that can do just that.